just heard Stupid Horse by 100 Gex. This is IOTA, the one and only radio station for Iota Springs, Illinois, where just an iota of love makes all the difference. You're family when you're here. Thanks for listening.
Here at the new Iota Springs Yoga Studio to learn more about the classes and resources available on the site. Last week, you heard from Iota Springs' new yogini, Zora, and we are here with one of the other instructors at the studio. If you could introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you for having me. Hello, I'm Nat, one of the new yoginis of the studio, and I'm very excited to be here.
Glad to have you, and we're grateful to be inside the new studio right now. Why don't you tell us about the new features inside the building?
Yes, of course. So there's first the...
So sorry, I couldn't actually hear what you were saying. That sound.
Oh, right. The construction is just pretty busy here, especially since we're tearing down some walls and adding a skylight above us.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you still held classes during the construction.
Yeah, it's really distracting. But don't worry, I believe that these days have only made me more confident in being patient and finding inner peace.
That's good. Why don't you tell us the reason that you wanted to start teaching yoga, especially here in our Iota Springs' community?
Sure. You see, I saw Iota Springs as a fresh place to start, as I finally moved out of my parents' basement to go back to school, and I...
Oh, just... Carry on.
Yep, well, you see, I've always been so stressed out since I came back to school, and sometimes I just can't help but get really easily irritated, so
What?
I get so irritated in my daily life, I found yoga to be an amazing conditioner. Not just for my body, but also for my mind, so that I can just breathe comfortably at the end of the day.
Yeah, that sure is a good idea to start yoga. Maybe we should just wrap this up.
Oh, no. I actually have a lot more I wanted to share, and I just want others to take a journey with us into our studio and learn more about themselves and being able to calm themselves at any time, and it's... Could you excuse me for a moment? Hey, can't you simmer down for 1 minute? I can't fucking concentrate or even hear the sound of my own voice. God damn it.
And that's all we have time for today. You guys should definitely come down and try it out for yourselves. The staff here is, very welcoming and supportive. So don't miss out on their new meditation exercises.
Well, it's the top of the hour, so you know what that means, folks. It's time for the Community Bulletin, your number one source for all things Iota Springs. If you have an announcement you'd like read on the bulletin, you can email bulletin@iotaradio.com. Again, a reminder that the bulletin is for locals only. Huge as, I know you're from Bushwick County, and I've hired a private detective to get your IP address. Okay, folks, let's get to it. Boy Scout Troop 784 is having their first jamboree down by the Kinkle Pond this Friday. The troop leader and parents suggest parking your car across the highway to avoid fallout from the slingshot battle at 1400 hours. The battle will be followed by Gushers and Capricins, brought to you by Logan's mom. Next, we have a public service announcement from the Iota Springs Police Department. This is a reminder that if anyone approaches you with a rag and asks, "Does this smell like chloroform to you?" do not, I repeat, do not smell the rag. If anyone experiences such suspicious activity, please report it to the deputy. Now, a word from Marshall's Dentistry on 3rd. Gingivitis got you down? Come visit Marshall's Dentistry on 3rd for all your tooth and gum needs. We're holding a limited time offer through Memorial Day. Get 2 teeth pulled and get the 3rd pulled for free. That's right, for free. Also, mouth gauze is included with every visit. Make an appointment at 194-555-2378, or just come on down to Marshall's on 3rd, Walk-ins are welcome. Lindsay Sullivan would like to report another found clothing item. A black boot with frayed laces was found in her vegetable garden, and both the boot and the sock from last week can be retrieved at her home on Willow Street. From Babbling Brook Middle School, the extracurricular etc. class for learning random but very useful information is open for enrollment for the small fee of $150. Next, we have another message from Daniel M. to Rebecca L. Rebecca, I'm begging you. I can't sleep, I can't eat. I haven't taken off your Hello Kitty sweatshirt you left at my apartment. I miss you. I check your Spotify every hour. Please, if you get this message, just listen to Teardrops on My Guitar by Taylor Swift. I need to know you've been getting my messages. I miss you, Rebecca. I love you more than Laura Linney. This just got serious. Hopefully, Rebecca reaches out soon. That's all the announcements we have for today. Thank you, Iota Springs. Tune back in tomorrow, and remember to stay informed and stay local.
Hello there, listeners of IOTA Radio. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Morgan Landing, executive gossip and advice columnist of the Iota Springs Local Times, or perhaps better known as the recipient of the Iota Springs annual Nosiest Citizen Award. For the last I can't believe it's been 6 years. Times have been tough recently at the Times, and, well, frankly, I'll just come out and say it. We have not received enough news from the town for either of my sections, leaving us unable to print an edition for the next 2 weeks. We're already short-staffed enough that the gossip columnist also has to be the advice columnist, and so I am coming to you on the radio waves today to ask you wonderful people of Iota Springs if there is anything, and I truly mean anything, you would like to talk about. If I don't get any content interaction by the end of the day, I won't be allowed to order from White Castle with the rest of the staff tonight, and I would really like to. So please, if you have anything on your mind, don't be afraid to call in. I'm all ears. Oh, a caller. Hello there, caller. What's your name? What's going on?
Hi, I'm Dylan, and I need some help with my homework for my etc. class.
I mean, this isn't really the place for this, and I'm still not entirely sure what this etc. class is, but seeing that I don't have any other calls, what can I help you with?
So, if a plant is rooted 4 centimeters in the ground, how much sun is needed to have the flowers bloom by early April, excluding any factor of weather, animals, or temperature change? It's a botany and energy practice problem, so normally I would just know the answer, but I'm so confused.
Wow, I have to admit, I really have no idea what you're talking about. I wish I could help you. I really wish there was something else I could do.
What do you know about the lawn cutting patterns of the White House in relation to the days of the week?
Dylan, truly nothing. I am so sorry, but you know what? I'm going to make sure you're the first caller in line for the Science Museum segment tomorrow. Have a great day, and I am so sorry again. That was embarrassing for myself. I definitely would not have passed etc. class in middle school. While I roll over those questions in my head, is there anyone else I can help with non-homework related problems? Hello, caller. What can I help you with today?
Hi. My name is Riley, and I honestly would love to get your advice on something. My new boyfriend is great. I mean, he's really great. But I recently found out that he has some, interesting habits, and I just don't know how to handle it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I totally know how you feel. My last boyfriend had a couple quirks himself, but he left me for someone else before we could ever even talk about it. So I would love to share some of the things I would have said to him. It was really recently as well, so I'm glad it's all still in my head. Does it have something to do with his job?
No, he's just a dental hygienist at Marshall's on 3rd. This is something, much more unique.
How crazy. My last boyfriend also worked there. That place is full of the town's best. So, what's up with this boyfriend of yours?
It's the weirdest thing, and there's two parts. One, he only eats waffles for breakfast, and he will only eat them on a Batman plate because he says that Batman is his inspiration to be both a better man and better detective.
Is it possibly 2 blueberry waffles?
Yes. Anyways, whenever I try to bring it up, he's always saying to me, Morgan never cared about my breakfast routine, so why do you care about it? Morgan this and Morgan that. And it's almost like I'm at the point where I'm like, dude, you chose me over whoever this Morgan is. If you're missing Morgan so much, why don't you just go back?
What did you say the name of your boyfriend was? It doesn't happen to be Jack.
Sorry, you cut out. His name is Jack.
Riley, I'm realizing that I am a little too close to your situation. The job, the plate, the food, the name, it's all the same. I'm the Morgan that Jack is talking about.
Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry.
Thank you for your call, and if you could get Jack to please drop off the rest of my things at the office, that would be amazing. I really need my work ID as soon as possible. Oh my gosh, would you look at that? I think my time is running out, so I just want to thank all of the amazing people at IOTA for giving me this time slot today, and thank you all for your lovely contributions for this segment. Please remember to submit any juicy gossip or pressing life problems to the Iota Springs local Times. I will possibly be talking to you all again soon.
Howdy, partners. I'm Charlie Fool, and the kind folks here at Iota Radio have given me the chance to read you my hysterical comedy routine before I perform it at the town bar. So strap in and let's get down to it. So, one day, I was driving down Interstate 72, and this just terrible person pulls right on in front of my car and stops. Just like that. Now, have you ever encountered such a terrible person? Like the person who takes the last chocolate pudding cup when they know that you love chocolate pudding cups? Or the person who takes the last pack of peanuts on the airplane? Or the person who honks as soon as the light turns green? Or the person who cuts your credit card in half when it gets declined? Now, these folks are the opposite of top notch. They are bottom notch. They do not have one single ounce of goodness in their funny bones. Now, when this person stopped in front of me, I yelled like you had never heard before. I was angry. This was a bottom-notch person, I thought to myself. They are just too terrible to name. But their name was Jimmy Dean, and not like the breakfast sausage, but like the country singer. Now, I do want to tell you a good joke right here. What is black and yeller that sits on a bed? A bumblebee. I'll let that one simmer. Oh, looks like we have a caller. I'm not done with my routine, but let's see what this #1 fan has to say. You're on air with Charlie Fool. How can I make you chuckle today?
My name is Stacy Williams, the PTA president, and I will have you know that I am no fan of yours.
Oh, well, that's okay, sugar. I've had my fair share of critiquers.
You come on here on our local radio show and call yourself a comedian? Well, Darlene at the gas station is funnier than you, and we all know how terrible her humor is. She doesn't even smile. Ever.
Oh, well, you've got to just give me a chance. I've barely just begun. The folks at Iota Radio have given me a big hunk of time on today's show.
I'm talking now. Taking up your precious time. I could tell funnier jokes than this routine, Who likes pudding anyway? My kids aren't even allowed to eat that. And as for Jimmy Dean, well, you can't come into this town and say anything bad about him.
I wasn't saying anything bad about the singer Jimmy Dean. The singer's so amazing.
No, I mean Jimothy Weston Dean. He is an outstanding citizen. I could not let you make fun of him or his driving habits.
I assure you, I wasn't trying to offend anyone. This is a family-friendly routine.
You should get off the air and move on to another town. Charlie Fool. More like the town fool.
If that's what makes you happy, sugar. My mama said to always treat ladies and gentlemen and all the folks with respect. I'll do what you want. Signing off. Charlie Fool.
Hello, dear listeners. It is I, Wilhelm von Berg, returning again to the stage at your request to exhibit my rare and extraordinary talents of canine conversation. On today's segment of Dog Whisperer, I will be conversing with a young lady, poodle by blood, purebred, who was the last to see her owner, Dr. Beatrice, alive before his gruesome murder. Might Meatball know what happened to her beloved master? Let us find out. Welcome, Meatball. It is a treat to have you here today. No treats, my mistake. Still, I am happy to have you here today. May I shake your? Shake! Good girl. No trouble getting in? We had to have Meatball registered as a service animal to gain her building access to the station. Oh yeah. Of course, I am happy to hear parking was okay. Oh yeah. Well, you know why I asked you here, Meatball. I of course will try to be sensitive due to your recent loss, but we will be discussing your recently departed owner. You've told me you didn't directly witness the murder. Do you recall what you were up to that day? Yeah? Yeah, I too am a fan of Mr. Trebek. The alluring siren song of Jeopardy reruns have kept us all from obligations at some point. You shouldn't blame yourself for being distracted during the crime. Do you have any suspicions of the murderer's identity? No, Meatball. The microphone is not a chew toy. Good dog. Where were we? Yes, your suspicions. The postmaster, Mr. Letterman? Impossible. He is a pinnacle of civic duty in this community. This is a very tall order, Meatball. Why do you think so? I am confused. You tell me you weren't watching because Jeopardy was on as the mailman spoke with Dr. Beatrice? But the mailman comes around 2 in our neighborhood and Jeopardy does not start until 4:30. It can't be both, Meatball. Why would you... Oh, my God, no! Meatball! How could you? You monster!
Thanks for listening to IOTA. Tune in next time for next week's Town Bulletin, an interview with our very own Iota Springs medium, Gertrude, featuring her ghosty gals, and Ronnie Camerari will be here to share the story of how he lost his hand and he lost his bride, despite his brother Johnny having his hand and Johnny having his bride. Now, back to our regularly scheduled musical programming with Imagine by Gal Gadot and Friends.